Hello FPO managers, welcome to the Redman FPO Focus channel. My name is Ola. So guys, after a top 2k finish in the previous FPL season, I'm looking to do the same this year, probably finish in the top 50k. And if we are having an extremely good season, I expect to break into the top 10k again this season. So guys, keep it locked on this channel. This is the place to get those tiny bits information that you're not aware of, that you do not know you need to play FPL. So guys, in this video I will be talking about my previous draft, which I have the video on the channel. If you're new here, you want to go on my last video and just enjoy the informations there. But I'll be talking about my previous draft team, my current draft team, what it looks like, and of course I'll be talking about cheap midfield and cheap striker options, because I know a lot of us FPL managers, we are looking to mix up our team with those cheap options together with the premium players like Salah, Palmer, which you have in the midfield. And of course, I do not plan to start my season with Erling Haaland in any of my team, so I would be displaying a Haaland draft team. So just in case you're following me and you're wondering what will I be doing without Erling Haaland, or how can you make a Haaland draft team, and you follow me, so this is the video for you. So I would touch on that, and I would touch on a few other drafts teams that I've created in my time away from here. So guys, I do apologize that I haven't done a video in a while. It's just I do this in my free time, but I'll try to keep it consistent this season. And I've been traveling a lot. I was in Liverpool for the preseason game against Athletic Club, and then indeed I saw some really great football, and some players that passed the eye test. So talking about people that passed the eye test, you can see one of them already behind me. The West Ham guy, Diouf. He's such an exceptional left back, but I'm gonna come back to that. So, but in Liverpool, when I was watching the Athletic Club Liverpool game, I think Rion Gomoha, he's a gem. He indeed passed the eye test. Every time he's on the ball, guys, I'm just expecting something to happen, and I can't wait for FPL to inject him into the app, and we can also have him as an FPL asset. Guys, I do not mind having a Rio Gomoa as my fifth midfielder sitting on the bench, because I know when he gets his chance to play, he's honestly going to give you something, either an assist or a goal. He's that good of a young player. So guys, let's get into the rest of the video, and I hope you enjoy it. Keep it locked with me till the end. Alright, FPL managers, thanks for keeping it locked on the channel. So guys, before I talk about my current draft team, which is the draft team I might and would be starting the season with, I think I would be starting the season with this current draft team. I would talk about my previous draft team and just state why I have moved on from that draft. So this is not my previous draft, this is an Haaland draft, which I would be talking about before I move further into the video. But first, I'm using the FPL team app, fpl.team app, and yep, so this is where I've got a couple of drafts saved. And yep, so guys, in the midfield, like as you can see, it's quite different from what I have in the current drafts. But I will start with the goalkeeper, which is also different from what I've got in the current draft. So the goalkeeper department, I had Jordan Pickford, but guys, I've checked my records and I see that Everton haven't kept a clean sheet in their last 6 games. Matter of fact, I think they have about 5 losses and 1 draw, or it could be 5 draws and a loss. But I think it is 5 losses, 1 draw, which is very poor. So I had to move on from Jordan Pickford, and yeah, did a change in the current draft. And if you look in my defense, I had gone for quite expensive defenders: 6 million Cucurella, 6 million Vadio. Olaina is also 5 million in his own right. I think quite an expensive defender. And then in the midfield, it was a smart pick. I went for Adingra, 5.5 million. He's got West Ham, Burnley, Brentford, which are very decent fixtures for Sunderland, but I do not know if they would survive through those games, because we're not sure about the character of these newly promoted sides. But I'm hoping they do play good football, because Adingra is also a good player, and he would mean, if they play good football, Adingra would become a source or a route to points, FPL points. But one player I had in this midfield that I knew he wouldn't really bring much contribution is Jack Harrison. What 5.5 million, and the good thing about his price tag is, for that same value there are a few other players I could easily have considered. So For this reason, I felt like this draft was not really solid enough. And if you see on my bench, I've got Kelleher, Louis Dunk, Kai Walker, former Liverpool captain Jordan Henderson. They are all decent players. Obviously, they will start for their current team, but I feel like they do not give us much root points to like points return. They don't give us much points return. The likes of Henderson is not known for his goal scoring prowess. Neither is Jack Harrison known for his goal scoring prowess. Actually, he's more recognized for the injuries he picks up during the season than the goals he scores. So guys, in the attack as well, I have Watkins, João Pedro, and the non-playing, non-training Welbeck. He hasn't really been involved in the preseason of Brighton, and this has had me a little bit worried about keeping him in my team. So guys, this was what my team looked like before I had to move on to my current draft team. So guys, having a look at my current draft team, you will see I've got a few decent players. Starting in goal is Matt Sells, the Nottingham Forest goalkeeper. Yes, Nottingham Forest, they haven't really won games in their last 4-5 games. They haven't really won any of those games, but they've managed to keep a clean sheet. So be it. The teams are lowly ranked from different random leagues. Like when I say random leagues, like not really competitive leagues. For example, they play Al Qadsin, or I can't remember the name, Saudi Arabian team sounds like, and they played a 0-0 draw or a 1-1 draw. So quite poor. So I'm gonna stick with Sales anyway. I'm not saying there are any assured defenses or goalkeeper for clean sheets, but I think my Nottingham Forest can do a job. So guys, in the absence of any team being assured as a clean sheet team, last season's clean sheet team was pretty much Arsenal and Everton, but this season I don't think there'll be anything like that. So I'll say people should stay clear of these players. And guys, in the defense, I went for Diouf, the West Ham Diouf. He did pass the eye test and he caught my eye. He's a flying wing back. He plays beautiful crosses into the 18-yard box, and I think he would be a source of goal points, assist points, and maybe some goals throughout the season for us, guys. And then moving on to this man, Ruben Diaz, the captain of Manchester City. Quite debatable. A lot of people ask me, why did I opt for Ruben Diaz? Guys, I feel Ruben Diaz is the most nailed on City defender, and he should be secured for minutes being the team captain. I have looked at their preseason and I see there was just one name that kept reoccurring and showing up on Guardiola's team sheet, and that's Ruben Diaz. Whether he's starting in the starting 11 or coming on as a substitute, he is a big part of the Manchester City plan. Bigger part of the City defense plan than Vadio, Aitnori, Ake, and Akonji put together. So this is from my own findings and observations. So I'm sticking with Ruben Diaz in my defense as a nailed-on City defender, and why the rest are prone to rotation. Pedro Porro, another interesting one. I went for Pedro Porro because I feel he will be nailed on for set pieces, probably even get some goals in the absence of James Maddison taking the set pieces. He is assuming that duty as a full set piece taker for the season. Hopefully he does get some positive point returns. And guys, in my midfield, I've gone for the templates, Ndiaye, Salah, Palmer, and I'm also introducing Jorginho Ruta. I think he'll be playing as a striker or closer to the striker this season, especially with the departure of João Pedro. This means Jorginho might just shine more, and I'm backing him to go all the way and do wonders. And in my attack, I've gone for pretty much templates, but for Bowen, Watkins, and João Pedro, I'll say I'm sticking with this three guys in this striking department because João Pedro is pretty much a rotation player, so I do not want to jinx it. I do not want to lose points by having a third striker who doesn't play, so I'm choosing to play João Pedro as my third striker option. And guys, on the bench, I've got Dubravka, I've got Konza, I've got Dewsbury Hall and Esteve. I think this is a much healthier bench than the previous bench I had of Henderson, Kai Walker, Kelleher, and other defender in the team. So guys, I feel much more relaxed having this lineup. I'll say Dewsbury has got maybe a low ceiling to his game, but I think he would be very much involved in Everton's football for this new season. And I'm counting on him to deliver a regular 90 minutes points, hopefully. So that's the only question mark on my team. I'll say Dewsbury's whole minutes, but otherwise, I think everyone else is nailed on. Joao Pedro, a bit of rotation risk. Maybe the same for, in a way, Ruben Diaz, because Pep Guardiola is unpredictable. But guys, I've done my findings, and I think he is the most secured City defender to go with. So now moving on to my Haaland draft, I'll just talk quickly on it. So it says of 52.7 projected points. I'm not sure about that, but yeah, sales in goal, and I've got Cucurella, Pedro Porro, Vadio. Expensive defenders, but yeah, the fact that it's a Haaland draft and they cannot fit in one draft makes it a very perfect draft. So guys, in defense, I've gone for Cucurella, I've gone for Pedro Porro, I've gone for Vadio, and Sales in goal. And then in the midfield is Marlen and Diaye, Palmer, Sa, Ismaila Sa. In the attack is Evan Nielsen, Bowen, and Erling Haaland. So guys, I think it's a pretty decent team. Haaland has got enough help in this team. He's got help from the likes of Bowen and Evan Nielsen. If he doesn't get enough points return when the season starts, but guys, I'm more certain this draft could be better if I spend less on players like Vadio. If I go down on Vadio and go down on Cucurella's prices, I might be able to get more funds to go up on midfielders like Daniel Marlin, as well as I like Ismail Assar as a choice, but maybe go up from Ndiaye to a better player as well, another player, or I get another solid third striker instead of Evan Nielsen. I could maybe, if I make funds available, maybe go for an Hugo Ekitike, or Mateta is quite risky because they've got Europe while they play in the Premier League. They've got their European qualification games to play, so quite risky. But I would fancy a Mateta, especially fatigues on penalties and stuff like that. So I would fancy a Mateta in this Haaland draft. But yeah, that's pretty much the team with a Haaland in a Haaland draft. And on the bench is Jorginho Ruta. I'm gonna switch him with Donny Marlin. So Ruta in, Marlin on the bench, because Marlin is more of a rotation player, and I've got Martinez from Man United. Hopefully he starts some games. And Dunk, I do not really like the bench on this draft, but it is decent enough to to have a look at it. For the fact it's decent enough, we can have a look at it. All right, so guys, that's it for my draft teams. I would now move you on to the next part of the video, where I will talk about certain cheap midfield and striker options that we could consider in our team. Hopefully I'll pick a couple of names, and just in case you're looking to balance up your team, this should help you. Alright, field managers, I've come up with a quick graphics, and these are my cheap midfield options. I think these guys are enablers, and they're going to add something positive to your midfield if you try involve them in your team. So instead of scratching your head thinking about what cheap midfielder do you want to involve in your team, worrying about certain players, you can easily look at these guys, and I know they are all a essential part of their current team plans. For example, Adingra is a solid part of the fixture for Sunderland. He's a big part of the starting 11. Same goes for Gnonto, and the same can be said for Minte and Jorginho Rutter. So, guys, I think these guys, in case you're looking to mix up your team, have somebody who's cheap that can sit on the bench or that can start in the starting 11 every game weekend. I think they are the options to go with. So Ruta, Adingra, and Minte and Gnonto. Gnonto, we knew him in the Premier League when he was a teenager. Now he's gone to the lower division and back again in the Premier League with obviously more football games under his belt. So I think we should pay attention to these guys. Anyway, that's my cheap midfield option. Alright guys, so for my cheap striker options, in case you're struggling with team budgets, trying to fix in some players in your team, guys, I would go with Everton's Tiano Barry. I think he's a decent attacking option, and he would turn up in the Premier League, show more of what he can do. He's a player that, like just like Diouf of West Ham, he catches the eye and passes the eye test. So I'll take him if I need an extra striker in my team. And also, we are all familiar with this one, Raul Jimenez. He hasn't been part of the preseason of Fulham, but he is decent to hold in your team because he will be the main man up front when he comes back. Also, taking into consideration will be Welbeck. Hopefully, he's available, but he's not been part of Brighton's preseason um, matches. But he is known to be their number one player, their number one striker, especially in the absence of Joao Pedro. That should nail him more as a starter and holding, giving more game time, as well as being on penalties. I'll say Welbeck is a good shout for a cheap budget striker to add on your team up front. So, guys, with that, I'll call it a wrap with the video today. If you're new around here, give us a like, hit the subscribe button. Let's keep it locked throughout the season. Let's try make it into the top 50k. And if the season goes well, we'll make it into the top 10k, hopefully finishing a better ranking this season than finishing in the top 2k, which we did last season, guys. Thank you. See you all next time and enjoy the Premier League season is back.